Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Wasteland 3. So as you can see here, the game created an autosave for us right before we encountered the Scorpion robot, so we haven't lost any time or anything at all. And now we know, first of all, that Scorpion robots working out or just walking around out in the world are a lot more powerful than the one that we fought in the mine, including having way more action points per turn. Good to know. And secondly, now we know how that attack works, which I guess is important because it doesn't work the way that it looks like it works at all. My guess is that the reticle was supposed to remain visible on the ground, and that it didn't due to a bug, on account of how everything in the game, how everything in the game is sort of buggy. So I was looking through our gear and stuff, and I realized something about Skelly. We don't really need this toaster repair badge anymore. Our toaster repair is very, very good. And we do have a weird science utility item, so I think we're gonna throw that on her. We have a nerd stuff thing, we have a hard-ass thing. You know, that might be worthwhile. Let's do the weird science, though. And then obviously we'll... Yep, that's a strong look. And then obviously we'll get her... I didn't realize that the skill points were reflected in your skill bars, actually. That's pretty strange. That it wasn't 1 point in addition to the 9 points we purchased. Well, I mean, okay, let's go ahead and spend her thing on this then. And then we'll get the book and have that maxed out. And then she can have all of that and also get some weird science. And then, honestly, I don't really like the Electro Helmet that much. It tends not to be the case that she is close to enemies while also far away from our own guys. So the fact that the Electro Helmet does friendly fire damage makes it, I think, a little bit of a bad move. So what do we have? Oh, right, we do have a weird science hat for her. Yeah, sure. She can do this now. Okay, I know it covers up her makeup, but I think we should leave that displayed because it is wild. A computer voice in the helmet provides an update on your physical status every 30 minutes. It cannot be disabled. See, like, there's good stuff in this game. I know I've complained a lot about some of the things that I think are not so good. And you know what, if we're going to have her in that, we may as well enable the show of her chest plate. She doesn't look anything like Skelly anymore, but whatever. It's fine. But the game has good stuff going on, so you just have some spare skill points that we were holding on to because we don't exactly know what we want to do with them yet, but it's probably Small Arms 9. And then we're going to get Devastation next time you get a perk point. Quan's got a perk point left and we have no idea what to do with it. It's fine. You have all kinds of stuff left. Oh, right, because we're going to push big guns and explosives. Big guns and explosives. Yep, steady shot. Okay, and then Lucia has some skill points left because she is also working on maxing stuff out. I think we're going to take the 10th point of survival over the 10th point of small arms. So, next level. Yeah, she only needs 2 more points. Alright, let's get back out here and do stuff. I know we're close to Denver, but I think we want to go home before we go to Denver. Because I think we have some upgrades that we want to put into place. Heal everybody up, buy some medicine, buy that toaster repair book. So we'll just continue mapping this area now. We'll loop back home, visit the garage, and then we'll go to Denver. But I am feeling pretty powerful at this point. Okay, we haven't actually come down here yet. My guess is we're probably not going to find anything except maybe a randomly generated encounter. But, you know, a randomly generated shop or something, it's not bad. I would not turn up my nose at the opportunity to rob somebody. Or, you know, engage in some perfectly legal commerce, whatever. I'm not picky, is the thing. Alright, so is that Colorado Springs already? Oh no, that's the Hoon Homestead, okay. Yeah, we're going to keep drawing this out. I know that the 10th point of survival is going to have Lucia knowing where all of the locations are, but that's not the same thing as revealing the map.
And this here is vengeance for what you did to my family.
A boy stands in the headlights of the Kodiak, an RPG pointed directly at you. His chest heaves with anger. Where did you get that? This kid's got spunk. I'm gonna take his RPG, obviously, but I don't see any reason to kill him.
I'll find you again. You won't see me coming.
It's possible that there's gonna be some long-term consequences from this. The boy is uncowed as you hop out, walk up, and slap the weapon from his hands. You drive off. To be perfectly honest with you, I kind of want to see where that's going, though. Like, even if it does have long-term negative consequences, I want to see what those are. Not much more than a glorified tent. Keeps the wind out, though. Well, I mean, we could rest up here, right? Our car's not actually in really bad shape, right? Because the scorpion thing never happened. We don't really need to recuperate, though. Search the place. We find a padlock stash. Hell yeah. We got 2 machine turrets. I'll take it. That's not bad. Another helmet. I think we have like 3 of those already. Some of our armor could use a little bit of updating. Oh, what is this? Is this like a big... Dude, for real, what is this? It's not a solar collection thing. It's just like a big... concrete... Maybe it's modern art. Find a half-buried crate. It's unlocked. We'll obviously open it. Either it's full of loot, or it's a trap, and either one of those things I want to get involved in. Are we not going to try to scrap this plane or anything? Because I feel like that's a lot of metal that could maybe be used for something. Oh no, a Dorsey ambush. Let's kill him? I don't really want to spend the ammo. Let's just escape. Not realizing the Kodiak's capabilities, the Dorseys didn't block a stretch of rough terrain. You drop into low gear and boulder your way out of trouble as they fire after you. Yeah, this sucks. There really should just be loot windows. This is a problem that was solved in video games when Fallout 1 came out. A hidden structure. I mean, it's not that hidden. Fallen trees and rubble mostly obscure this collapsed bunker. You could get in if you're willing to crawl on your hands and knees. And from the look of it, someone or something has been doing just that. Well, I mean, let's look around. Let's survey the situation carefully here. You spot numerous scratches on rocks and logs around the bunker. Something, or many of somethings, have been sharpening their talons. However, there's no fresh signs of activity around the bunker entrance, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's empty. They could just be way down in there. Well, I'm not going to... So if we fire, it's just going to draw attention to us, right? I'm just going to crawl down in there, and maybe this will turn out to be real dumb. Crawling into the bunker, you spot signs of animals nesting, including boxes torn apart for bedding. A few boxes in this bunker remain untouched. There are other rooms, but the doors are locked. Well, that shouldn't be a problem for us. Let's see what else is in there. Okay, that's a skill book. That's pretty significant. Despite being behind locked doors, the elements have permeated this storeroom. You pick through the containers for unspoiled goods and gather them up. Yeah, if you can just randomly find skill books, that seems like a really good reason to make sure you are hitting every random cache. Although, again, I do wish it would just show us what all the things were at once. Luckily, you were fast enough and quiet enough to be in and out before whatever lives here came home. Alright. Do we actually need an unarmed book? He's 10 already, right? Yeah. So I guess somebody else can learn a point of brawling? I don't even know who that would be valuable on. We might just hold on to that, I guess, for a little while. The sell price is okay. It's not, like, amazing. Alright, so that's the mine, that's Denver. Yeah, I guess let's just head back home. Wait, was that... That was the Colorado Springs turnoff. You know what? We may as well check around this side, too. As long as we're just out here getting into trouble. We're not in, like, dire straits at the moment. Just drive on up into the Rocky Mountains. Shouldn't be a problem. Oh no, you wouldn't think giant frogs could survive in sub-zero weather like this. That's true, I wouldn't. But nature is nothing if not adaptable. And also hungry. Well... I don't really want to fight these frogs. I mean, yeah, experience points are not valuable, and I don't want to spend the ammo, is the thing. Let's just escape. I'm hoping that Lucia is getting XP for the use of her, skills. 10454. Keep an eye on that. We'll check in with her after we next escape a thing via survival and see if she is in fact getting rewarded. How would a bunch of giant frogs ambush the Kodiak? I'm assuming they're like the things we saw in the bunker, right? I cannot make sense of those things making us stop the Kodiak. A man in a suit warms his hands by a fire. As you park, he leaps up and opens a small trailer hitched to his car. A neon open sign flickers to life. He gives you a megawatt smile, but it dies when he recognizes you and becomes a sneer of contempt. Yeah, I get that a lot.
Oh, the Rangers. As a scion of the 100 families, you can't expect me to sell to you after what you've done. For you, Zero Priceley's Motor Mall is closed.
With that, he closes the trailer, kills the neon sign, and drives off, and I guess we just let him? That's very out of character for us, that guy being 100 families. I would have robbed him.
Help! Please.
Oh, well, I hope that wasn't important. A thump like a boulder dropping shakes the ground, then another, and another. You're surrounded by giant frogs. Alright, swerve around the frogs, etc. No, she is not getting XP for that. She definitely should be, but she's not.
Come in. This is Dorsey.
Okay, we have an addendum added to our Frontier Justice mission. We intercepted a staticky radio call for a Dorsey fighter in the Western Mountains. We should explore that area more thoroughly when we're around level 18. What are we mostly at right now? Okay, 15 to 17. Jim's got a lot of XP because he has more intelligence than everybody else, so he gets more XP. And also, there's a lot of stuff to lockpick. Well, this here is some kind of cannibal jamboree, which I guess we ought to... maybe we ought to get involved in? An old quarry carved out of a canyon. The current residents have fortified the entrance. The smell of cooking meat is in the wind. In theory, in a situation like this, it is probably possible to be a cannibal without also, like, hunting people for meat. Because, boy, there sure are a lot of corpses all over the place. But my guess is probably these people are hunting people for meat. Constant snows and lack of food have driven some mountain clans to cannibalism in order to survive. So we're just gonna walk in here looking like drumsticks on legs. And I guess we'll see what happens.
Howdy, strangers! Y'all here for the barbecue?
Boy, you've made a decision with that vocal performance. We heard someone calling for help over the radio. We're here to investigate.
Oh, help yourselves! And make sure to say hello to the boss while you're at it. If you ask real nice, he might even let you take a turn on the spit.
I don't want to, but I don't want to do that though. So if it's going to turn out that this is the source of the distress call, maybe we shouldn't be here yet. You know what? Let's just go ahead and back off. We'll come back here later. We know where it is. I think we are going to this. This is a good loading screen tip. Don't just click on the thing because it has a number next to it. Maybe you don't want to do that thing. Let's maybe resolve the Denver situation, because our quest log suggests that that's like a level 9-ish quest. We are way, way, way beyond what we should need to be to deal with Denver. So maybe let's go back to the garage. Let's get our stuff that we want to get, and then go and handle the Denver deal.
0, 0, 0, 8, 8, 8, 0, 0, 0.
You find an old drainage tunnel under a freeway. There are needles and bottles scattered around. It smells like piss. Great. Search the area. Animals have been here recently. Let's track the animals and kill them for food instead of just seeing if they left any food. What a mighty hunter you are. You brought back enough meat to keep you in stew for days. And we got a partial heal on the one person who was wounded. Which doesn't matter at all, because we're about to go back to our base and get a full heal. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't go and figure out who that guy was that we think the escaped slave might now be with. There are too many characters in Colorado Springs who are effectively rich asshole. I can't keep all these families straight.
0, 0, 0.
Cool, that was very interesting the first time, and equally interesting the second time we heard it. I assume that that's just like... It could actually be something. I assume that it's just flavor text, you know, you're driving around, picking up weird stuff on the radio, somebody's running a numbers station. It's all very mysterious and spooky. But who knows? Maybe I'm actually supposed to be getting something out of that, and I've just forgotten. Due to playing the game an hour at a time over the course of a long period of time, instead of playing it all in a couple of days, I've just forgotten what significance that might have. Totally could be the issue. Alright, so we're going to install that thing we got from Project Morningstar. We're going to buy the toaster repair book to cap Skelly out. And then I don't know what else. So weapon. Well, it fires. So here's the thing I'm not 100% clear on. Do these weapons actually draw from our ammo pool? So 365 to 502 versus an average of about 23 damage 30 times. Maybe we don't want to change this. Yeah, I think maybe we're going to stick with the Helix turret, actually. Well, the Great Communicator does fire at 4 AP, though. And with it doing energy damage, it's going to basically completely ignore armor. Yeah. Okay. I don't necessarily love driving around the waste with a red, white, and blue Eagle cannon on the top of my car. I think that implies a lot of things about me that we don't really want to be true, but fine. Creates a blast that rips away cover and leaves enemies exposed. That does seem like it could be good. The Caltrop launcher, honestly, I don't think is terribly exciting. We actually got ourselves some alloy vehicle plating, which is... I mean... 60 armor. Minus 0.8 combat speed is going to make it more difficult to run people over and more difficult to apply what I'm assuming is a pretty short-range pulse weapon. But that is a lot of armor. Yeah, wow. Okay. Do we have access to other stuff?
Good luck out there.
You are not the one who would sell me that. You are the one who would sell me that.
The food you're feeding us is gonna cause a mutiny. Now, I'd hire a cook if I was you.
You know, I don't think that's the first time we've heard that. We should try to figure out where to get a cook.
Well, sure.
Alright, what other cool stuff do we have available here? A worse chassis, armor that doesn't cause problems, but also is way less functional as armor. And then, yeah, I mean, whatever. I'm not exactly going crazy over the cosmetic decorations. Alright, lots of money with which to buy ammo from this character.
refugees cause trouble and nothing happens. What's that? Let me show you.
Alright, my suspicion is it's not the refugees who are causing trouble. There, Joey. Alright, what are we doing on ammo here? We are fine on 9mm. Honestly, we're fine on most things. Where are my energy cells? Am I this low on energy cells? I know we were definitely low. I guess we might be actually out. Let's just go ahead and solve that problem. Those are not cheap. And then we have 4 rockets. I'm not in an emergency situation on rockets. I guess we'll probably just stick with the rockets we have now. Do we have better weaponry for sale here? Seems like mostly not really. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that requires a very small number of skill points to operate. The photon churner is 12 to 14 times 8, with, I'm assuming, a damage bonus against robots and stuff, and a chance to apply shocked. You know, 10% chance to apply shocked over 8 projectiles is certainly not bad. We'll save our money, though. There will probably be more relevant things we can purchase out in the world in the real near future. Hey, Doc.
What do you need, Rangers? I'll do it. Have a seat.
Alright, let's get everybody healed up from their various things. Somebody is trying to get through down there.
I don't mind not having to clean and suture a festering wound.
Private McDowell, you okay? Just kind of pounding on that structural pillar?
Here to serve.
Is that what you're doing right now? Okay. Well... Yeah, we do still have to resolve this situation with the codes, right? You know, I might pause the episode and go figure out where I'm supposed to be going to, because I know, I recognize the name that we heard, who had picked up the blonde lady recently. Yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. I'll be right back with information, and we're going to resolve this escaped slave situation. And we're back with some weird information. So, I went back and watched the footage, remembered that it was Mr. Howe who was said to have picked up a young blonde mistress recently, and then tried to go back through the old footage to figure out where we had seen Mr. Howe, and I think what I discovered is we never have. He might actually not be in the game. So I went to Google and was like, hey, where's Mr. Howe? I'm dumb and I forgot. And Google kind of confirmed that actually he's not in the game. Probably Melissa Howe is the only Howe you can actually encounter. And while doing that, I saw where Hallie, the escaped slave, is, because I am not the only person who has had this problem, apparently. So, oops, spoiled myself a little bit. But I do think it's kind of crummy that, like, there are only 2 people in the game who are specifically called out in dialogue as being blonde, where, like, a point is made that there is a blonde person here. And those 2 callouts happen in close proximity to each other, but they have nothing to do with each other. It's just a dumb coincidence. Probably the developers should have caught that one and made sure they weren't throwing a massive red herring in the middle of this quest. It turns out that dialogue about Mr. Howe having picked up a pretty blonde thing recently is just, I think, supposed to be character setting dialogue for Broadmoor Heights about, like, oh, the people who live here are shitty and they gossip and they cheat on their spouses, which is fine. It's just, like, with the quest, with the description we are given for the quest, it's kind of a bummer. So Hallie is just out here in Colorado Springs, and we're gonna go have a chat with her. I didn't see anything else about the quest beyond this. Oh, apparently there are... That's weird. Apparently, first of all, apparently there are deer over there. And secondly, for some reason, the doe was saying OE-OE-O, which is... I mean, that's not what deer sound like. I have had opportunity to be near deer in the past. They don't do that. That's not correct. So she's just right out here, I think, near the pillories, is what it said. And we're gonna talk to her, and like I think I said, because I just heard myself saying it in the footage, we're gonna try to trick La Perla into thinking we're going to hand the slave over in exchange for the codes, and then after we get the codes, we're going to ventilate her. And if that doesn't work, then we're just going to kill her. I would rather kill her and not get the codes than have this go in some kind of way where she succeeds at taking the slave back, or, you know, obviously. Obviously, we kill slavers around here.
The Colorado Patriot? Oh, real funny cartoon in there.
Yep, there, Hallie, just right there. Just
Car collector?
if I hold shift here, yep, just says Hallie right over her head. Okay.
Oh, you again. What do you want?
Have we spoken before? We must have spoken. My memory. Blonde, beautiful, unblemished. There's no mistaking it. This could be the runaway slave La Perla's been hunting. There's no mistaking it. This could be the slave. There's no doubt about it. This is definitely, maybe, possibly could be the slave. Hey, you're Hallie, aren't you?
How do you know my name?
Super weird that there were 2 goodbye options on that screen. Well, we're certainly not telling her a lie about her mom. The smiling lady asked us to catch you, but we don't help slavers, so we're warning you instead. Keep your head down and stay safe. So I don't have the option of asking her to come with us for to commit a slave fraud. Well, I'm certainly not going to manipulate the slave into serving us. That, you know, that's a little too close to that line for my taste. So yeah, we'll just tell her what's up.
You talked to her. Oh God, you could have sold me out, but you didn't. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll leave as soon as I can. Thank you.
I don't suppose we could convince you to maybe engage in some subterfuge with us? No? Alright.
I'm hopeful for the first time in a long time.
Alright, well, you know, listen, we did the right thing. Let's just go back to La Perla and see what we can wring out of this situation now. Hey, we did talk to the doctor and get healed, didn't we? Why is Ringer still not at full health? He was pretty close to full health before we talked to the doctor. Maybe he's just too tough. He's so preternaturally tough that not even medicine can get him to full HP. Modern medical technology can only get people to around 300. Everybody knows that. And then if you have more than 300 max HP, you just gotta rely on your body's natural Wolverine-style healing factor to get you the rest of the way there. My guess is we're probably not going to get those codes. We're probably not going to have a good way of pulling this off. Which is a shame. But, you know, if we get to murder some slavers, that's that's fine. That's an okay second place.
Find my girl yet?
So let's see. We could lie. We could lie. I mean, it feels to me like it would be unlikely she would engage in conversation at this moment, given she had just asked that question, like, but I guess maybe we can weasel some information out of her. So what was this place like when you lived here?
Lived is a strong word. This is just where we stayed when we had business in Colorado Springs. We held our stock here, dumped our trash. That's it. Picked it because it was defensible. Especially once we got the security system working again. Is that creepy guy in the cell still here? Not much spooks me, but finding that guy made my hair stand on end.
I had totally forgotten about that guy. I really hope that us letting him free is going to come back into the narrative in some way eventually.
Would have killed him, but much funnier to leave him to freak out the next bunch of scabs. Anyway, back to my lost property. Any luck tracking her down? Find my girl yet?
What is going on here? She is acting like she's responding to things without us getting to say anything, like, consistently. I guess her dialogue is just written badly. Yeah, I guess we just kill him, right? It's weird that there's a kiss-ass lie that is effectively the same as the normal lie. I'm trying to, like, suss out what I think the mechanics of these are. Maybe, like, this one convinces her to run off while this one has her see through your lie and fight you. I sort of want to do this one, but I really don't want... I'm curious what will happen if we do this, but I do not want to send La Perla out into the wilderness looking for an escaped Hallie when we just told Hallie to run. I think we're just going to kill him. Hey, we should never have agreed to this. In fact, we didn't. We didn't ever agree to this. I was lying the entire time.
Self-righteous gonzos. Muchachos, kill these swine!
Okay, they don't have very impressive armor at all.
The best way to begin an engagement.
Jim, what are you talking about? This is fine. Do that thing you're doing, then get the hell out of the way. You know, this is probably a good time for a demoralize as well. We can't quite get them all well. I'm not that worried about the trapper. Let's get these guys.
By my calculations, you can't win.
Yeah, take that. Suck that math. And then, Jim, take cover, because otherwise you're going to get killed. Obviously, the turrets around the base are very much on my side, so that bodes pretty ill for them. Quan should probably move up before firing. There's a narrow angle where we get everybody. That was not very good. Do we want Quan to reposition? Because the cover he's in right now might be good for somebody else, and maybe we just, like, run out into the open and open fire. We'll get a free shot here, and then he does get that damage bonus when he's not in cover, which I forgot about a moment ago. Yeah, I don't think this battle's going to be all that difficult. Nope. Give me Quan back. Quan's going to shoot... I guess just one of the not La Perla guys, because apparently he's not able to kill her. Yeah, just take this one. Okay. That's a pretty good start. And now they're all demoralized, so you know this seems like a fine moment for perhaps some suppressing fire, although I guess I need to get a little tiny bit closer. So suppressing fire is 5, 12, so I would love to not move more than 1 AP.
What are you doing? The occupants of Colorado Springs are under our protection.
Sorry? Quan, what the hell are you talking about? Did Quan just make me unable to shoot at them because he loves slavers who don't live here? I'm not... Hold on a second. Yes? That does in fact appear to be what okay, hold on a second. If I pick somebody else... It is not clear to me exactly what's going on here. Okay, we are still able to actually shoot at her. My hit percentages disappeared for a while on account of Quan, but now they're back, and I'm gonna... Oh, maybe he's upset because I'm gonna hit the turret? He's, for some reason, thinks the turret is... Okay, dude, I mean, I'll move over and take the shot differently, I guess. Let's see. I guess I'm never gonna have a good hit chance against La Perla. This is as good as it gets. Yeah, I'm a little worried that if I just took the shot the way I was gonna take it, that he would, like, rebel, freak out, leave the party, something. Okay, and then with only 3 AP, you really don't have anything you can do, so... You know, I don't know for sure that that's not the kind of thing that happens in this game. So a couple of these guys have a lot of health. We could probably drop out... Here, let's switch over to Skelly. Have Skelly just drop the others. Or actually, this is probably a pretty good time for some flamethrowing. Oh, but she can't quite hit them all from here. Damn it. How close do I have to get? I have to get all the way over to here. This is probably fine. She's still in cover. hard miss on a couple of them, sadly. And then I would like to spend the rest of Lucia's AP attacking La Perla. So let's see if Ringer can get these other two. Can indeed. It turns out Ringer is Ringer is a certified badass. Yeah, I guess I just go into defend mode here, since I can't step and fire. And then who am I more worried about? La Perla has a lot of health, but also is just wielding a crowbar. I'm gonna shoot at the guy with the gun. Guess there's nowhere you can move that really matters.
I got the shot.
I'm kind of hoping La Perla will focus on Ringer. Nope. Okay, well this is going to go real poorly for them. Well, apparently a lot of my people are just going to quote-unquote combat rush and then not do anything. I appreciate that it sort of has them act simultaneously to make the pet turn a little bit shorter. I wish it would go a little further in that direction. Okay, Ringer, run over here and just throw a whole bunch of punches. Actually, I guess I should Thundering. I'm going to Thundering Strike. We may as well do it now. Wow. So that we can build some more strike through the rest of the turn. Alright, and then everybody else should focus on the other guy. Oh, we still have the pulse gun equipped. It seems like it doesn't cost any action points to do this, so we're gonna just go in here and swap these real quick. It really should, though, right? Like, this should not be free. This is another one of those, like, it's a weird situation because this problem was solved in Fallout 1 as well. Alright, do I want to, like, bust his armor, maybe? Yeah, because even a headshot's not going to be that much damage with this weapon. Okay, because not everybody actually had the penetration to beat his armor. Now we all do. Alright, I think we're going to get through here. Does Quan have... Yeah, Quan's got it. And then, honestly, we could probably just save ammo. Which I think I might actually do. Because I think there's a pretty good chance that Ringer is going to kill her on his next turn. Thanks, Isabel. Wait, oh, wait. Is that another enemy? Interesting. I did not realize... Wait, Isabel is on the enemy team? What is going on here? I think... I'm not 100% sure what's happening, where these guys came from. I guess La Perla had people sort of scattered around our base. It's unlikely to matter much. Alright, so let me throw some punches here. I will resolve this problem. We don't need a friendly turn. Alright, I think a Shaolin Surprise will do it from here. Well, overestimated very slightly. We did it! Mission complete! And now we got other problems, apparently, though. So who's over here? Who are you? Just somebody? Alright, Jim, go shoot this person. I don't know what the hell's going on, but resolve it. Obviously, try not to be in a fire while resolving it. Why does it even give me an option to move? Like, if you mouse over this space, it probably should assume you mean to not go through the fire, right? Yeah, I guess we'll just run over to here. This is not ideal, because obviously the guy's got more armor than I would like to be shooting at, but we don't always get to choose. Oh, right. I was like, why is Quan not showing as having a firing range from any space anywhere? But it's because there's no ammo in his gun. In that circumstance, he cannot, in fact, fire from anywhere. Stormer is really cool and very useful, but I do wish that it was integrated with the game systems a little bit better. Do we have the option of... No, we do not. We cannot, like, stop, drop, and roll. Well, I'm already on fire. So I'm just gonna run right through here. Yep, this is a fairly reasonable reaction. It would be nice if you could spend some number of action points to just sort of like deal with your status effect. So Skilly's weapon has actually pretty okay range. I'm gonna have her just flank over to here. Okay. Apparently she invented some roller skates while we weren't looking. You know, that's all that weird science at work. I really don't want Ringer to run through the fire. Like, I wanna end up over here in a pressuring position where I'm also pretty shootable. I am told he resisted burning, despite the fact that he was never in a space where burning should have been an issue. Okay, well, I think we opened up his cover there. He's definitely got to make some decisions. And he's not making them particularly effectively. Boy, they brought a lot of saw pups. And apparently all of our automated defenses are very anti-robot. The saw pup is clearly far more important than the person throwing all the saw pups. Boy, this wolf must be really mad. Most wild animals won't intentionally run through a fire. Alright, yeah, Sheldon's surprise is still on cooldown. That's pretty decent damage. I have to imagine we're going to be able to finish this guy off without having to rely on brass. Boy, the laser shotgun, it barely even does any damage. I'm actually just going to have Lucia run over here and take it easy for a moment. A saw pup is soft enough that we can probably kill this thing. I mean, we do have a lot of Brass's ammo. I'm trying to be a little bit more responsible with my ammunition, though. Alright, shoot it right in its sensor unit? Yeah, CPU. So 30% chance to deal 50% bonus damage. I guess this is the way to go. That's the best consistent damage. I look at Jim actually, like, helping in combat. We gotta get him a better gun. He's actually got a lot of weapon skill now. He should be more of an asset than he is, because he just has a really bad gun. Wow, that did nothing. I can't even really see the edge of our movement area. Like it's pretty obvious over here. But here, like, where even is the line? I guess this will have to do. Alright, Skelly does not have much of a shot. Okay, this isn't too bad. Skelly's never gonna move her knees again. Oh, did she run out of saw pups? I think she did. I mean, wow, that's a serious hit.
We got this, Rangers.
It's very surprising to see somebody do that kind of damage to brass.
Somebody call the marshals!
Gotta wait for our friendlies to very slowly meander over here. Okay, Skelly's attacks aren't really that valuable. She may as well pick up Quan. Is she doing it? The fact that there's no animations playing makes it really hard to tell what's going on.
Up and at 'em, ladies.
Did she? Okay. It's probably just a little bit broken. It says I'm out of range for attack, but I'm pretty sure it's wrong about that. Yep, it sure was. You know, because the game's just wrong about how its systems function all of the time. Okay, I don't think we can get there any more cheaply than this. We're definitely going to have to actually use Lucia here. The amount of damage we have to deal with this person is bananas. Alright, sadly it is going to take forever to actually work all this out. So let's see, is 52 the best we can do? Yeah, looks like it is. Try to pick up Quan again? Lucky crit heal. It claims. Okay, so Quan is unresable. She shock batoned him too hard. It's fine, we're at our base. We'll just doctor up here.
We got this, Rangers.
Cut it out!
Boy, it definitely sucks that that this enemy has a 100% stun chance attack that is cheap enough to do multiple times per turn. Wow, good hit. Alright. Skelly seems to be broken and can only kind of interact with the world. Oh, wow. I'm shocked that she actually dropped her gear. An Uzi. Bunch of garbage, lots of garbage. Why does everybody have so much robot garbage on them? And did that include all of La Perla's people? No, these are still lootable, it says. No, maybe not all of them. Okay, no, all of them. So the rib cracker, the medic pack. Oh, Provost, nice of you to show up. Okay, that's a new flamethrower. That's a higher quality of flamethrower. And some junk. Okay. Well, let's go visit the doctor again. That Private Bluth is really enjoying having gotten to murder someone. Maybe a little too much. An amount that's sort of making me nervous is the thing. let's just go ahead and re-doctor up here.
Downtown. There is one man responsible for all that bloodshed. Nellius Dorsey. You want to make me happy? Find him and make him pay. What do you need, Rangers?
Okay, we can probably do that.
Of course. Have a seat.
And I do like my doctor being happy. Is he actually going to have healed everyone? Hey, he did. Wow. Okay, did anybody actually level up? You got real close. Lucia is so close to being survival 10. All right, I think at this point all there really is left to do is to buy that toaster book and then get out of here.
Felicitations, Rangers. How can I be of assistance?
I would love to see your goods.
Of course, Rangers. It would be impolite not to share such tremendous deals.
And we don't want any of this other stuff, do we? We already have a monocle. I don't think we want the grooming brush. Yeah, okay. I'm assuming that Ringer has a first aid thing. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. That makes good sense to me. All right, let's have Skelly read that book real quick. It's weird that it didn't go into the new items part of our thing. Did I actually buy it? Yes. Okay, hooray. Hooray! Level 15 Toaster Expert and General Mad Scientist. Now we just have to actually train her for... I don't want to train her for big guns. I want to stick to this. Like, look, Mad Science gives you all these damage bonuses for fight. We just need a fire weapon that actually uses her skill. We'll get there. We will make it happen. Alright, let's get the hell out of here before anything else comes up. But hey, any day that you murder a bunch of slavers is a good day. Let's go... yeah, load into the car, head to the world map, and go to Denver. Turbocharger upgrade will make your Kodiak drive faster on the world map. I feel like that's a pretty low priority for me. It's already fairly fast. Something like that would be way more meaningful if there was like world map combat or something, or even like if you were trying to evade stuff or catch up to stuff that was happening. But like all of the encounters are stationary objects that you interact with or stumble into in the case of ambushes. We do desperately need some new guns, though, huh? I think part of the problem is that I think we've out-leveled the plot a little bit here by actually doing all the quests.
Hey, gang! Time for another episode of Rocky Mountain Monsters. We're in a part of the mountains where there have been sightings of a huge, hairy giant lurking in the woods. The locals say it's a mutant cannibal hobo called Melvin. I say it's Bigfoot. Stay tuned.
Which one of those things is even more ridiculous? So, now that we've killed La Perla, I am actually pretty curious if we're going to be able to get into the vault. I kind of hope, part of me hopes, that it is the case that La Perla legitimately had the codes to the bottom level of the vault, and that you legitimately cannot get them any other way. Because, like, it's easy to do the right thing in a video game when the right thing is mechanically rewarded, and that's the way most video game morality stuff works. But I kind of like it if they actually made it the case that there is a cost, an actual material cost, to not being a monster. You know, a little bit like the way it is in real life. So ordinarily, a frog bouncing off the windshield wouldn't slow the Kodiak down, but this frog is 300 pounds. You get out to check the damage and find the frog rolling to its feet. And it's brought friends. Why would I get out to check the damage? The Kodiak's not going to be damaged by one of these frogs. Let's just keep moving. I don't want to fight randos, and I'm sure at this point the kinds of battles we'd get involved in here are not really worth very much XP. Alright, so just turn right and go generally kind of northeast. Oh hey, what's this up ahead? Oh. Well, let's see if we can loot anything from this campsite. Search the place. Find some stuff. Padlock stash. Behind lockpicking 5. Probably just going to be some ammo, although I sure wish we knew immediately.
Denver, the cultural center of free Colorado. Warning, dangers of Denver include hostile wildlife, scavenging thugs, Reagan-worshipping fascists, rusty nails, collapsing buildings, and background radiation. Denver, the jewel of the North.
Yeah, I figured when the name of the gang was the Gippers, I figured they were Reagan-worshipping fascists, basically. As you enter a wooded ravine, something makes you slow the Kodiak. A movement? A noise? A flash of light? Maybe it was just a feeling, but the night seems darker now. The hairs rise on your neck. Yeah, let's be cautious. You crawl ahead in low gear, eyes darting everywhere. It gets darker and darker. After a tight turn, your headlights flash across 2 big metal structures flanking the road. Structures? No, robots! Another steps behind the Kodiak. Their servos whine as they lock their guns on you. An amplified voice tells you to step out of the vehicle. You don't really have a choice. Yes, we do. We have the Kodiak. The Kodiak is a choice. We could just drive through a robot with it. I have no doubt that if we just rammed one of those Scorpitron things with the Kodiak, it would probably get the job done. Especially given the amount of mass that we have tacked onto this thing. But I guess we're going to fight some robots. Listen, I'd be lying if I said I was overjoyed about the prospect. The good news is we have a fair number of energy cells. I think I'm probably not going to swap everybody back to energy weaponry. Because we do have to safeguard these a little bit. Oh! Oh!
Alright. Light 'em up. Wow. And I thought Colorado trash was sad. You made a bad deal, Rangers. My father's using you for cannon fodder. Go back to Arizona before you take a bullet for him. The graves are cold up here. And on your way home, tell him to hire a better class of spy.
Well... So, Liberty... I think Liberty was the one that was the highest level quest. I'm wondering if we tried to kill her right here and now, I'm wondering if this would be a lose the game type battle. I'm kind of... I mean, we're not exactly on the Patriarch side, although Liberty Buchanan did just stroll up to me with a chain of heads. So, you know, also, maybe not the good guy in this particular story. I really do. I kind of just want to talk to her. We don't really have an option here. You know what? All right, we'll deliver that message.
Ha! Spoken like a true lapdog.
So hey, why do you want to overthrow your father? But by the way, while we're chatting here.
Because he's taking too long to die of natural causes. Colorado will die before he does if someone with some vision doesn't take control ASAP. And that's not either of my brothers.
She sort of lost her eyeline there. She forgot where I was for a moment. Also, sometimes her hair decoration just doesn't move with her. So you think your father is killing Colorado?
Are you blind? He's letting a crazy cowboy cult control our oil production. Our main trading hub is run by a bunch of idiots in monster masks. All that should have been state-run ages ago. Why am I arguing policy with a bunch of gun jockeys? The point is, my father has Colorado in the palm of his hand, and he's afraid to close his fist. I am not.
Okay, so I was just trying to get a feel for whether it might actually be the case that it would be better for us to leave her in charge. Seems like none of them can survive. That's my feeling here. And you don't think your brothers are fit to rule?
Ha! I can see you haven't met him. Vic's a depraved child, and Val's a brain without a spine. I wouldn't trust either one to run a mess tent, let alone a country. To think of all the years my father wasted grooming them for glory when I was right there. God.
So what else should we know about Victory, aside from, that thing you just said?
Shoot him before he talks. Your sanity'll thank you, and you'll be doing Colorado a favor. Not that it'll be easy getting to him. He's got his followers hooked on some kind of hypno-happy gas. They'll do anything for him, including die.
Okay, and what about Valor?
The sooner he dies, the better for Colorado. He's the perfect puppet for some usurper like the Gippers to put on my father's throne and claim he's the legitimate heir. Of course, killing him would piss Daddy off. And you ass-kissers wouldn't want that. Might be the only way to get him out of Denver, though. Those Gippers got their hooks in him deep.
So, I'm starting to wonder if maybe the right play isn't to just get all the capture the Buchanans like the Patriarch wants. Get them all in one place and just burn the building down with them inside? Yeah, okay, we're done here. You can go.
Ha! Thank you for your permission. Squad, roll out.
I mean, those robots she had with her are cool. I would like to see those. It's a shame that that didn't unfold in a little bit more of a, a put us on a combat map and have her walk up to us before getting the first person thing kind of way, because I would have liked to really take in the majesty of her roadblock. We're probably going to have to come up with some kind of solution though, right? It seems clear to me that it's not a good idea to leave any of the Buchanans in charge of things, but how are we going to set up a functional government here? I mean, that's a big, complicated task, is my concern, and I don't necessarily think we're set up for it.
Lemonade Joe! It can't be! I gunned you down in the Trigger Whiskey Saloon!
We're not listening to radio plays right now. Let's step into Denver, the Denver ruins here, and wow, that's supposed to be Reagan? I take it. That's really something. The oil that Coloradans depend on for heat and fuel is pumped from the Denver oil fields. So, okay, I said before that I thought it felt really unnecessary that our people back at the base were just recruiting nonstop, because we definitely don't need an army base packed full of people in order to do the thing that we've been sent here to do. But that number of hands might actually be useful in the long term for for taking over these oil fields and stuff. Yeah, I don't really know how we're going to resolve things in the long term here. I'm a little concerned that our only real
outsiders are forbidden to interfere.
Okay, we'll be right with you, Nancy. I'm a little concerned that our choices here are going to be leave this place still in the grip of a fascist dictator, or just completely destroy all infrastructure and then leave and abandon it to chaos. Obviously, both of which are bad.
At ease, Sister Glory. I know what this is about. The Patriarch has sent the famous Desert Rangers to inquire after his son, Valor. I'll be with you in just a moment, Rangers. Justice is swift in God President Reagan's America.
Okay. Yeah, we respectfully request an audience with the God President to negotiate on behalf of the Patriarch?
Well, so polite. Excellent. We have something we'd like to discuss with you, too. Ronnie, are you ready to begin the trial?
Yes, Nancy. Present the accused.
Oh, it's not just a... Okay, I thought it was just a big angry-looking statue.
I've heard about this thing. Some kind of sentient super weapon, so watch out.
Quan, you might not be using the word sentient correctly.
Thank you, husband. First, the heathen Godfisher attacked 3 of our commandos, captured 1, cut off his limbs, and sent him screaming into the sky.
The gods of the sky must be appeased, or the nurturing rains will never come. Thus, we appease them with our sacred kites and the blood of unbelievers.
Well, that doesn't sound very civilized. What's the other one done?
I feel like we should shut the hell up and let this play out. Why am I talking here? So, okay, is this some kind of like a Wizard of Oz thing? Is there a guy in there making it talk?
There is no one in there but God President Reagan. Now please, no further interruptions.
Yeah, it's wild that we get penalized reputation for interrupting there when, like, the very obvious thing to do is not interrupt, and I also literally am not allowed to do that at all.
The other one, husband, is a communist robot from the machine commune who trespassed on our land.
Your designation is incorrect. We are a direct democracy. And I entered your lands to heal the injured humans. It is irrelevant whether one is communist. Communist? Communist? As for the hippie, no one can be denied the promise that is, well, America. Let's give her a second chance. Go and, sin no more.
Fools! The gods of the sky will devour you.
Thus is justice done in America. God bless us, and God bless God President Reagan. Sorry to keep you waiting, but matters of state must come first. I'm Mother Nancy Reliance, and this is my husband, God President Reagan. Welcome to the shining city on the hill.
Yeah, things seem really great here. So I think what we're supposed to draw from that is that the Reagan bot is unreliable. It does not apply its Reaganness equally, which obviously is a bad thing given that it appears to have murderous laser eyes. That said, it does definitely seem like Ronald Reagan in a lot of regarding democracy as an evil that must be wiped out is definitely a Republican move. So, okay, would you explain to me why you killed the helpful robot and not the psycho who skinned your commando?
First of all, I didn't kill it. Ronnie did. Second, the will of the God President is not to be questioned. If he spares one sinner and not another, there must be a reason.
Okay, so yeah, the thing does not behave consistently. It misfires all the time, and they're just like cargo culting. Okay, the characterization makes sense. It's established a little clumsily, but I get it.
Now, if you still want to discuss Valor Buchanan, come and join Ronnie and I in the Western White House. We will receive you in the sacred server room.
Oh man, do you think it doesn't? It clearly it doesn't move around. Do you think there's a bunch of them?
Good day.
That seems that seems bad.
Jelly beans! We haven't had any visitors since we paused the patriarch's oil.
It's super weird that they had to do a Okay, hush. It's super weird that they had to do a fade out for her to walk away when they could have just literally had her walk away, right? And in fact, it would have been useful because then I could have followed her to know where we're going. That's an odd thing. Anyway, I guess this is where we're going to call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time tomorrow, we're going to be figuring out how to kill everyone in Denver. And we'll see you then.